these are. Oh, I see. So the. Oh, I see. Oh, this is pretty cool.
And that's it. You'll see them. In most places, they say, okay,
Yeah.
it's no big deal.
Yeah. 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 This whole dancing around on what we were supposed to do, what we weren't supposed to do, and the 6 months and all that stuff is it's out of our hands. I mean, it's not something that.
Well, you're right. I mean, it's out of our hands, but beyond that, it's reached ridiculous.
Oh yeah. You think? Jeez.
It's not that big of a deal.
I didn't perceive any of that in your voice yesterday. Well, maybe a little.
I tried to mask it.
Shall I
It
shall
is
I
fun.
pass out 700 pages of draft shit?
Oh, that's
Would you like a copy? I can do that if you want.
over there. You're right. That looks a little snotty. Okay.
sitting here while they were singing, and an administrator came to sit next to me while the choir was here. Were you here? Okay. Well, someone came up and went like this to me. So I could relate. Like, I am not a little girl.
Okay, we're ready to start if everyone would like to take their seats. We appreciate you being with us this evening. We apologize for getting just a little late start. We were trying to make sure we had everybody in the room with us today. Item number 1 is the invocation, but we're going to have an ROTC group come and join us today. Let me announce those students before they come in. We have Cadet Second Lieutenant Darren Alfaro, Cadet Master Sergeant Amber Walker, and Cadet Second Lieutenant Jose Jimenez, I apologize if that's wrong, from Western High School ROTC. They will be doing the flag presentation. Following the flag presentation, we have with us this evening Reverend Mary Bredlau, Chaplain of Palm Mortuaries. We thank you for being with us this evening. We'll stand for these ceremonials, and then we will go with the rest of the agenda from there. Thank you. Please stand. And the students will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. O God of wisdom and insight, teach us to be good stewards of our resources and intelligence to educate our children of our community. When social interest issues arise, help our Board of Trustees to seek out a balanced consensus. We are convinced that you created all of us equally and that your love encompasses all of us. Help us, therefore, to truly absorb and inwardly digest these truths so that learning can improve our daily lives and we can walk with confidence into the future. Help all of us to realize our potential without impedance of empty rhetoric. Gift us with an ever-increasing bell curve of cooperation for the common good. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. You may be seated. Thank you, students, for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And we thank our ROTC from Western High School, and Western High School is represented by Mrs. Shirley Barber. We had some entertainment in the lobby, I believe, this evening. Mrs. Janison, would you like to report on that?
Thank you. We did. We had Bonner Elementary School come, and I think they were called the Blue Cat. Where is she in here? Blue Cat group. It was kind of like a Blue Man group. They were doing the tubes and everything, and the drums, and it was very entertaining. I said, I think we're going to see them as part of that show. No blue faces, no, just on the shirts. But they did a terrific job, and I appreciate the parents coming down as well as a lot of the staff members and administration.
Thank you, Mrs. Janison. Just a reminder that we will be reconvening. I'm trying to think of the word. We'd like to recess, but we're going to reconvene the meeting from Wednesday, our work session, following the presentations tonight. First, we're going to have student body representatives, or we'll have an adoption of the agenda. I apologize. Item number 1.
Motion to accept.
We have a motion to accept.
Madam Chairman.
Item 1. Do we have a second?
Second for discussion.
We have a second, Mrs. Moulton.
Yes, I'd like to pull item number 16.
Okay, do we have any staff changes this evening? Okay. Mrs. Barber.
I would like to ask why is item 16 being pulled?
Mrs. Barber, we have a lengthy agenda tonight, and in the backup material I didn't see any suggestions made to the changes of the president. I saw some emails that were given, but I didn't see any real purpose to that agenda item.
That's your opinion.
Exactly.
And my opinion was I put it on the agenda, and I'm going to find out. I'll just keep bringing it back, but I'll talk anyway later.
And Mrs. Barber, we can vote I mean, the motion may fail, and then
it
we
may
can
not.
make a new motion. If the motion fails, however, we would not have an agenda item that would allow for discussion this evening, so you may want to wait till you reintroduce the item on an agenda, just so that there's not a breach of open meeting law.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens, but this is not acceptable. I'm sorry.
All right, thank you. So the motion is to accept the adoption of the agenda with the deletion of item 16. And I see no further discussion. Cast your votes, please. Do we have Mr. Mason on the phone with us yet? Okay. Let me know when we have him, please.
You know what, I'm not
Mrs.
gonna be here
Scowers.
to do that later on, so.
Which part?
Okay.
Actually,
Mine is no.
gonna be an abstain, quite frankly,
I
because
wanted
I won't be.
mine to be no.
So that would have been, I pressed the wrong one.
Okay, the motion fails. Would you like to have a new motion?
Abstain. If you want to mark that abstain.
Motion to accept the agenda.
Do we have a second?
Second. Did you get it?
This was the same.
What are we doing now?
Voting to just accept the agenda as it is. It's not an action item.
Are we voting over or what are we doing?
She's asking a question.
That's okay, go ahead. We're voting now for the.
We're voting just to adopt the agenda as written.
I don't know where abstain is.
It should be all the way to the right.
Oh, I see. Abstain is in my. Oh, my God,
Okay, the motion fails. Would you like to offer another motion? How about if we consider a motion that just moves item 16 further along in the agenda so that we're sure to capture some of the items that have deadlines on them. This is not an action item tonight. We can discuss it at any point in the meeting, and that would allow us to maybe just prioritize the agenda but still have it on for discussion tonight.
Repeat that. I'm not sure I'm following what you're saying.
Well, just an option to consider. We could just take item 16 and move it towards the end of the meeting in order to make sure that we take care of the things that have deadlines, because it's not an action item, and so there's not an action that we can take tonight anyway. So since it's a potential discussion only, if we just moved it further in the agenda, perhaps then the board would feel confident that we're going to get through the things that we have deadlines on. Because we're reconvening the meeting from yesterday, we have the full agenda for tonight. So I just offer that in terms of a potential motion that may get a majority vote. I guess if we don't adopt the agenda, we could just go home.
We can go.
We can go. Maybe we should go.
May I make that motion?
Absolutely.
Or is that, so I'll make the motion that we accept the agenda, moving item 16 to the end of the meeting after all action items are taken care of first. Second. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we have a motion by Mrs. Janison to adopt the agenda, moving item 16 to the end, seconded by Mrs. Scow and Mrs. Brager. Oh, and I changed, yep, just in time. Okay, motion passes. We have an agenda. So for those of you who are hoping to go home early, darn.
Mrs. Johnson, motion to approve the minutes of December 1st, 03 and April 24th, 06.
Do you have a second for the motion to accept?
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Moulton, second by Mrs. Brager. Cast your vote on the minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Janison.
Thank you. I just have to abstain from the first one, so I don't know if you have to take them separately since I was not on the board yet.
So a motion to accept December 1st, 03.
Okay, motion's amended to accept December 1st only. Were you the second?
Yes.
I think we're okay with that.
I said yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Motion to accept the minutes from April 24th, 06.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Moulton, second by Mrs. Janison for the minutes of April 24th, 2006.
I'm not sure I can vote for that one today.
Do you want to vote?
I'm
Do you want to not want to vote, or do you want to abstain?
I guess it's been so long, I don't remember the contents of the minutes. I did take a look at it, but this is an area I hope we soon get straight here because we're violating laws here. The way I moved today.
Okay. All right, motion passes in on the minutes. Thank you. Item number 3, Student Body Presidents Association. We have student presentations under this section. And today, if I've got the most updated list, so correct me, Ms. Sandy, if I'm wrong, Rachel Ware, Student Body President from ATEC, represented by Mrs. Barber. Lotus Sin, Student Body President from Durango High School, represented by Mrs. Brager. And Ashley Brooks, Student Body Vice President from Western High School, represented by Mrs. Barber. So we'll go in that order, and we welcome you to the meeting tonight and look forward to what you have to tell us. You're looking like you're very glad that you got to go first.
I'm used to it. ATEC starts with an A. All right.
We'll smile at you.
Strewn across the board and optimistically every classroom in the Clark County School District, one will find the phrase, students will be able to. These classroom objectives give the class goals and structure. The motto of the Clark County School District possesses the same means. It provides a sound goal, not a suggestion, not a question, not a hollow hope, but a goal that will be reached. Clark County School District students will have the knowledge necessary to succeed academically. At Advanced Technologies Academy, the success of this goal is not even a question. Students must apply to gain acceptance to our school, and therefore join our diverse student body with already an innate knowledge. All of our students must meet academic requirements and minimal criteria to continue attending ATEC. To further our knowledge, ATEC employs the finest teachers and staff, including Milken Award winner Valerie Young. It is evident by the selfless actions of the teachers at ATEC that they will do everything in their power to see us succeed. After school each day, ATEC has what we call an assistance period. During this time, our teachers make themselves available after school hours to provide us with any further assistance we may need. Clark County School District students will have the skills necessary to succeed academically. Our magnet school enhances each student's individual skills by offering specialized program areas varying from engineering to computer graphics to law-related education. These areas of study give students the chance to gain knowledge and skills in an area of interest. ATEC offers extracurricular activities and opportunities for each program area. Law students often participate in mock trial and/or forensics and are known, as well as envied, for being exceptional. Graphic students are bombarded with offers to compete in design contests, which they tend to sweep. Also, internships offered to students of any major provide real work experience in nearly any trade the student desires. Clark County School District students will have the attitudes necessary to succeed academically. Being on the ATEC's campus is unlike any other high school in the galaxy. Students open doors for one another, help peers pick up papers when they have all dropped in the hallway, ask questions when they do not understand, and give the utmost respect to everyone around them. This creates an everlasting positive atmosphere within our hallowed halls. The vast respect evident in the way everyone treats each other contributes to the welcoming mood present at our school. We also ensure students feel included by providing a slew of clubs for them to join, such as dance team, board game club, fantasy gaming, robotics, Mu Alpha Theta, Key Club, National Honor Society, Quilting Club, and of course, Student Council. These clubs frequently hold activities to increase the social environment, including dances, gingerbread housemaking competitions, community service opportunities, and even staff versus student basketball games, since we do not have any authentic sports teams, which the students won this afternoon, by the way. These clubs and activities create a strong attachment between the students and our school by providing an environment the students actually want to be in and consequently grow in. Clark County School District students will have the ethics necessary to succeed academically. Our immense community involvement is a clear example of this goal being met. Through our clubs and organizations, our students give back to the community in incredible ways. Last year, our student council applied for a grant through the City of Las Vegas in order to complete a youth-led community service project to help homeless teens. Our student council was awarded the grant money we requested, and as well as $200 more. With our grant money, we were able to teach a lesson on interviewing skills to roughly 24 homeless teens at the Center for Independent Living. After our workshop, we took the teens to Mervin's and gave them each $50 to spend on dress attire for future job interviews. Currently at our school, all students are getting involved in a blanket drive for a local disadvantaged elementary school. Mrs. Valerie Young, who is sponsoring the drive, has collected over 200 fleece blankets so far, and each day at least 25 more are brought in. Students at ATEC give generously of their time and money because they are truly able to grasp the concept of giving back to the community they belong in. By applying our knowledge, skills, positive attitudes, and sound ethics, we are able to practice responsible citizenship. With all these programs and activities in practice, our students leave ATEC ready to enter society, no matter what their post-secondary choice is, the world of work or the world of education.
Excellent. Thank you. Lotus?
Good evening. My name is Lotus Sin, and I'm the student body president of Durango High School. I thank you tonight for the opportunity to speak for you. Durango has been open since 1993. Over the years, I feel we as Student Council has accomplished more than the years before. Since the beginning of this year, we've raised $3,000 for Race for the Cure, $1,525 for Shop with the Cop, collected 2,975 cans for Salvation Army and Help of Las Vegas, and 102 coats for the school district. A few events we held this year turned out great. For example, Veterans Day. We show the veterans of Durango appreciation by honoring them at lunch with the drill team and the band coming out to play music. For American Education Week, we spoiled our teachers with bagels and donuts from Krispy Kreme and Einstein Bagels. A special project we tried this year is starting the day off with a nutrition bar and a bottle of water. Students taking the proficiency test. We believe eating before you take the test will make one do better. Our job as Student Council is to build school spirit. Homecoming week is the week of school spirit kicks in. We held a successful pep rally and a tailgate party before the game. Both events turned out very well and proved the student body of Durango had great school spirit. We are proud to have made the AYP last year, as mandated by the No Child Left Behind Act. We have increased our emphasis on the basics, providing tutors and mentors to students, held after-school classes, and increased our electives so that all students have more chances for success. We also went on block schedule this year, which allows students to concentrate on a single subject for a longer period of time. Only half the year has gone by, and we've done so much, but we know for sure we can pursue more than what we've accomplished, and we look forward to the challenge. Also, I would like to thank my principal, Mr. Mark Gums, and my advisor, Mr. Mark Azevedo. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, Ashley.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Board of Trustees. Thank you for inviting Western High School to present itself here tonight. My name is Ashley Brooks, the Student Body First Vice President. Here with me tonight is our esteemed Principal, Ms. Pearl Morgan, our Assistant Principal, Ms. Lepore, our Advisor, Ms. Cruz, and some of our Student Council members. At Western High School, our mission is to promote scholarship, encourage good citizenship, and embrace our cultural diversities. We continue to address our mission statement by focusing on our three goals: academic, social, and citizenship. We are extremely proud of our academic accomplishments. During the 2005-2006 school year, we saw tremendous growth in the pass rates in both math and English language arts portions of the Nevada High School Proficiency Exam. In math, there's a 25.2% increase in the percent of proficient students for the AYP, and an 18% increase in the percent of proficient students in the English language arts compared to this last school year. There is over a 5% increase in the percent of 10th grade students who passed the proficiency on their first attempt. In addition, Western showed the second highest positive change in the math and the highest percent of positive change in the reading of all Northwest Region high schools. As well as all of these wonderful achievements, our curriculum has expanded by increasing both the amount of AP classes and the enrollment in these classes. Our AVID program is now offered in all grades, which is helping to prepare even more students for higher education. With the support of UNLV, our GEAR program also supports our mission statement by providing free after-school tutoring, as well as placing tutors in all Algebra 1, Geometry, special programs, and ELL classes. We also celebrate our clubs, activities, and athletic programs. Our Western Organization of Hispanics have just held a fundraiser which raised funds for the Los Angeles Children's Hospital. We also held our first blood drive of this year last week, and we collected 42 units of blood. As a matter of fact, my arm is still a little tingly, but it was well worth it. We also have another one planned for the spring, and I am most definitely going to participate. We continue to have our outstanding programs such as DECA, our award-winning junior ROTC, and our renowned performing group VITA. At Western, we also award our students with perfect attendance, straight A's, and we implemented our Renaissance program, which awards students for attendance and academics. Helping students achieve more in life is important to the staff of Western. One of our best practices is a senior project, which helps students find a career where they would potentially do well and have an interest. As many of you might know, Western is experiencing our own extreme makeover, as we are currently under construction. When the project is fully completed, our students, staff, and community is going to enjoy a brand new state-of-the-art 3-story building and 2-story building with a unique quad area. Currently, we are enjoying our new performing arts building, gym, and student center. Right now, we are so excited because when we return from our winter break, we will all be moved into our new 3-story building. I am so glad to be a part of it before I graduate in June. As well as preparing our students to meet the requirements to graduate, Western also teaches us to cherish the memories of what our alumni created so we may continue for our children of tomorrow. Although we are moving towards a new chapter in Western high school history, we will always remember to honor the past and challenge the future. Thank you, have an excellent night, and happy holidays.
Thank you. All three of you did a great job. We appreciate your professional appearance today and for the confidence with which you report from your school. You know, the superintendent's being judged tonight on whether or not he's doing a good job, and I think you added to his good report this evening. We appreciate that. We'd like to recognize those of you who are here in support of our students tonight. If we have parents, family members, staff from the schools, students from the schools, if you could please stand so that we could recognize your support this evening. Thank you. I know it means a lot to the students to have your support, and we enjoy seeing who comes to be in support of our schools. We have some board members who would like to address you, so we're going to go now to Mrs. Brager.
Thank you. Rachel, Lotus, and Ashley, all three of you, you never disappoint us. Every time the students come, it shows what outstanding students we have in Clark County School District. And it's nice to listen to three young women get up and share what's happening at their schools and express yourself so very well. For Durango, I visited your school on many occasions. I had the pleasure of knowing your administrator, Mr. Gums, for many, many years when he was at an elementary school, and I was the media clerk, actually. So that was a very exciting time in my life, and now he's there, and it's rare that when you meet him that he doesn't say all the great things that are going on at Durango, and I know he's really proud to be there. So to all three of you, keep up your good work, continue on in your educations, and come back and contribute to our community because we need you. So thank you, all three of you.
Thank you, Mrs. Brager. Mrs. Barber.
I also would like to congratulate each one of you. You did a terrific job. Of course, Western is the school that my students, my own children, attended, and so I feel very strongly a part of that school and have for a long, long time. They have since graduated. Well, it's been a while. They've even finished college, law school, and so forth, and they're doing exceptionally well. So I have a lot of passion for Western, and I certainly hope it continues. And also, all of the schools, I'm just proud to serve, and of course I am looking forward to retiring in another year or so. And but I will still be heavily involved in education. That's a part of my life. And so I'll still be involved in the schools as often as I can, and with children, and with parents. I think that's another feature that's very outstanding. So continue and just continue doing your very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Barber. Again, we appreciate you being here. We're going to ask you to stay through the presentations this evening. It should just take a minute, and then we will take a short break while you and those who have come to support you can go home and do homework. I know winter break's coming up, but I'm sure you've got tons of homework. We're going to go now, and if I could just have the indulgence. Don't tell us, we don't want to.
Yeah, they have 2 weeks off.
If I could just reorder the presentations, if that's okay with the board, I'd like to go to item number 7, Recognition Award Learning and Earning Program, and recognize Kim Boyle.
President Johnson, members of the school board, Superintendent Rolfus, it is my pleasure to recognize the Learning and Earning Program at the Community College of Southern Nevada. This program was created in 1996 in partnership with the school district to assist at-risk juniors and seniors. Students who are credit deficient, non-proficient, those who have attendance problems, or those with extenuating circumstances may be referred to this program by their counselor. Selected students work 12 hours per week at one of the CCSN campuses and are assigned a mentor and a counselor. Workplace and on-the-job training, as well as proficiency tutoring, are provided to the students. To honor the 10 years of this program, we would like to present this plaque and certificates to Dr. Key Rand, Executive Vice President, and Mr. Sip Chavez, Dean of Student Affairs, and the founder of the Learning and Earning Program. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Boyle. Item number 6 is the 2006 Distinguished Service Award. The Clark County School District Board of Trustees has distinguished itself as the state's only recipient of the 2006 Nevada Association of School Boards Distinguished Service Award. The main criterion for this award is to promote the vital role of local school boards in improving student achievement. According to the NASB, the Nevada Association of School Boards, the CCSD board was selected for several key reasons, including its leadership at the board level that led to an increase in the number of district schools achieving adequate yearly progress this past year. The board was also recognized for maintaining integrity through its continued use of policy governance and for managing a turbulent, though ultimately successful, search for a new superintendent. And so tonight, it's kind of an odd thing to be on the board that's getting the award, but we got it at a state association meeting where we went there for training, and I don't know where the actual award went to. Oh, we're polishing it because it's glass, and every time you touch it, you can tell. So the board has been presented with this award, and we're going to just move down quickly for a photograph, if you'll just indulge us for a second.
I wish Larry, maybe I can put Larry in it. Yeah. That'd be nice. Come on, Shirley. Huh? I don't care. Shirley, come down. No, come down. They'll superimpose you. keep it
But
clean,
you're-
hold it with Kleenexes.
And that is odd to present yourself an award. So we were trying to figure out how to do that so that we could just recognize the board, because not the entire board was at the conference. We had Carolyn Edwards there with us as well, and I know that she's watched the board work for years, and appreciate the leadership that is on this board. All right, item number 5 is special presentations and awards, and we'd like to just report that Tuesday afternoon, we hosted a retirement reception for Mrs. Brager, because she is ending her 12 years with it. 12 years on the board, many years in the district and in the community, and we have a scrapbook in the back that got the pictures from that. So any of you who were at that, we'd welcome you back to look and see how you looked in the pictures, and we'll turn the time to Mrs. Carolyn Edwards.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, and Superintendent Rolfes. I'm here tonight as a member and former chairperson of Susan Brager's Parent Advisory Committee, known as the F Troop, many of whom are here tonight, and I would like you to please come in.
Oh, you have to introduce us.
Sorry about that. We are here tonight. I'll let them finish sitting down. We are here tonight to honor Ms. Brager for her service and dedication to the students of the Clark County School District and to the constituents of District F. Ms. Brager has spent over 30 years working in the best interests of children. In her 3 terms as trustee, and 1 failed attempt, she has served with integrity.
Keep it human.
Yes. You only lost the first one, you know? She has served with integrity, professionalism, insight, and humor to ensure the success of all children. We're trying to keep this brief, so now I would like to invite former chairperson Anna Radford to say a few words.
Thank you. I'd like to take this opportunity to personally thank you for being the kind of trustee that motivated her parents and encouraged them and basically required us to be involved. With a glad heart, we did all those things. But you made us feel very important and appreciated our input and utilized it. It wasn't mouth service. I know you personally, and I think you're a wonderful woman, and I think that wherever you go, you'll make sure the best interest of your people will always come first, and I thank you for that.
One of the other people was unable to be here. Sandy Bembo sends her regrets. She had a family situation she had to attend to. And with that, I would like the presenters to bring in the gift we have prepared in honor of Trustee Brager.
Oh, look at those presenters.
Let me just explain, if everybody will take another seat for just a minute.
Isn't that incredible? Wow, that is so, you did it great. I'm really impressed. That is so exquisite. Look, it's the schools. That is so dynamic.
Yeah. If you can turn it around for just a minute so we can sort of get the board and you and
you guys, you're doing very well.
They take instruction better now than they did before.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Wow. That is so nice for them to come.
Okay, this quilt is our gift to you, Susan, as a thank you for your exemplary service as District F trustee. Let me just explain really quickly. The quilt is made of T-shirts or emblems of all schools in District F, every one of which was donated. The schools included cover your district before and after the redistricting that occurred in 2001. In brief, it covers elementary schools from Alamo to Wynn, middle schools from Cashman to Tarkanian, high schools and alternative schools from Bonanza to Spring Valley, and special events including 2 bond issues, your book drives, during which you raised over 20,000 books for children, and Dr. Cram's retirement. There is also
significant milestone.
There is also one school which is not in your district, but we included it because it is your alma mater, and that is Hyde Park. In 1995, when you took office, there were 23 schools in your district. Today, there are 50. Please accept this quilt as a thank you from your friends, colleagues, schools, and constituents. And now, before we end, I would like to allow Dr. Brian Cram and Carlos Garcia to say just a few words.
Members of the board, your superintendency, it's certainly a pleasure to be here this evening. And Carlos, I think you'd agree, I've never gotten a standing ovation before.
All 3 of you deserved it.
This evening is special for me. My daughter is, even as I speak, at Sunrise Hospital delivering a new grandchild, our 10th.
How exciting.
And, I guess in terms of importance to me, you know, it'd have to be very important for me to leave that to be here tonight, and that's because you're an important person to me.
Thank you.
I would like you to know that you were one of the reasons that I hung around so long, was because of your honesty and integrity and consistency and dedication to the job, and you were a great example of someone who, through hard work and intelligence and great tenacity, became a great success.
Thank you.
Occupationally and as a board member and as a citizen. And I think it's always great for people to see those stories about people who are able to become something, change themselves and reinvent themselves and do good things in life. And so you certainly represent that. I will be eternally grateful for your kindness that you showed me. We went through some interesting times together, some difficult decisions, but you remain consistent in being concerned about what all decisions would do for the child. And that's really what the school district is all about, is how does this affect the children? And you showed that in your behavior. I won't take much more time because the next speaker is by far more articulate. I will simply say this to you, God bless you. I take pride in your success as a board member, as an upcoming commissioner, and feel like you represent what's right about America. And that is that good people do good things and get good rewards. And so I wish you well. It was a pleasure to be a superintendent during the time that you were a board member. And I would say to the other members of the board, I will remain grateful for a long period of time for the great courtesy that you showed to me and for the wonderful things that you help happen in the school district. So, Mrs. Brager, you should leave with a sense of accomplishment, that in fact you did make a difference, and that you did improve things for kids, and you did change lives. And I think all of us who work with you would certainly affirm that that's correct. And so I wish you well. I give you my appreciation. I respect you, and hope that your future will be great. That in fact you'll enjoy things almost as much as you've enjoyed being board member. It's a hard job. I would often remark, I don't know why people would ever want to be a board member. Because although the rewards are great, it's very, very tough business. And it's hard, and it's sometimes unappreciated. But I want you to know that I appreciate you. I know what you did. I know the kind of person you are, and I'm very proud to have known you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir Rolfus, sir. It really is exciting to be here, Susan. When they asked me to come, I
no matter what, we were going to make it.
Oh, thank
I
you
just
to
thought
both
that
of
there
you,
was,
Gail.
and Gail came as well because she didn't want to miss it. And as you recall, we left you a message on your phone when you got elected because we were just so excited, even though that's a big loss for the school board. But, you know, Gail and I were talking this week about what I should say here. And she told me to keep it short and clean. No. So one of the things that we were talking about just the other day is how the first time we ever met you and really had a chance to talk to you, both Gail and I, it was at Chaparral High School during the search.
Oh.
And we thought, wow, this is a tough cookie. You know, she's pretty scrappy woman who's pretty tough. I mean, she kind of got in your face, and you were sitting there going, wow, I don't know, you know. But then, as we got a chance to talk with you and get to know you, I think we just fell in love with you as a great human being. We realized that, you know, a lot of people go into these positions because they have other things that they want to do, but you only had one thing you wanted to do, and you wanted to just concentrate on what was the best thing for kids. You always focused on, no matter how everybody, you know, would be criticizing you and practically throwing things at the board, you know, the whole board stood there. But it was always great to see Susan just stand up and say, you know, we have to do the right thing. And probably the best story I have about Susan is the most enjoyable thing I think on this planet of the probably over 200 meetings that I went with Susan or attended with Susan. I think about the best times we ever had was when I was sitting there and she sat next to me. I mean, you want trouble. I think later on the board presidents switched you because they didn't want us being together. Because every time we sat together, we just laughed. I mean, we try to shield it from the public, but deep down we were just laughing about just life in general and just having a great time. And I actually enjoyed just exchanging little notes and talking about all the things that would affect us.
You destroyed those, didn't you?
Yeah. But it was just a blast to be around. And I can, you know, I've worked with lots of school boards, as all of you know. I guess I couldn't hold down a good job, so I've worked in 7 school districts in my lifetime. And I used to tell this board, and I'll tell you again, that you're the best school board in America. And sometimes individuals, you know, have differences of opinion, and that's fine. That's how it should be. But, you know, you stay focused and you stay on what's important, and what's important are the children. And Susan, you have been a dynamic leader to say that regardless of you know, what you risk politically sometimes, because you do. You are politicians, and you do have to take risks. You're always willing to take that risk for children and stand up for them. And, you know, I hope, and all the stories that you used to tell me from the first day I came on about how, you know, you didn't get all the education and you didn't have, hey, I think you have a doctorate degree and you're just keeping it a secret, because with the experience you have is above all the education that anybody could ever have. And Susan, thank you for being a great role model for this community, because a lot of people sit on the sidelines and criticize this, especially our beloved newspaper. They sit around and they criticize what's wrong with this school district and what's wrong with Clark County. And what they forget is that you essentially represent what is right, because you didn't sit in the sidelines and criticize. You got into the game. You got into the dance, and you made a difference. And for that, and on behalf of the 300,000 students plus and all the 35,000 employees in this district and this wonderful community that we live in, I think everybody owes Susan Brager a big thank you, and way to go. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If I could have, please do leave.
I want to give you a hug. I'm going back to baby one.
Thank you for coming.
No, I appreciate that. Give my best to the family, Brian. If I could have now that everyone else is sitting, my family stand, and some of them, of course, could not be here. I have one daughter that always has to work, but I really appreciate my family. My husband, my dad, my brother-in-law are here. Come on, guys.
Stand up.
The only one that's missing is my mother, and I have to say that. I can't talk.
We have a few board members that would like to talk, though, so we'll take your place. Mrs. Scow.
No, I started them all. I'm supposed to be tough and get it together.
3 of us lost parents last year, so that's kind of a sore, tender nerve. I just want to tell.
Should I make you laugh when you can get it?
Well, when my cell phone went off, it made me stop getting weepy. I just want to say how much I appreciate Mrs. Brager. I think she's left a legacy of really batting for the kids, as our former superintendents have said. She always talked about, let's have the career and technical education. Let's make sure we have counselors in the schools. Let's make sure we have assistant principals. All the things that really help kids. But the greatest thing about Mrs. Brager-Wellman, you always know where she stood. And she was able to always advocate for her position in such a positive way, in a well-reasoned way. And I just, without saying what's been said before, I so much appreciate her leadership on our board, and I appreciate her as a person and all that she represents.
Thanks.
Thank you. Mrs. Moulton.
The word that comes to mind is example. As Mary Beth said, 3 of us lost parents in the last year. And when you say mom, I watched Susan be a caretaker, first of all to Ron, after they shortly married, and took care of him as he battled cancer. And again, it's something that's affecting the board right now. And then as she gave service to her mom and her dad, and the love and the support that she's always been, and the example of integrity and feistiness, and what a tribute, Susan. I don't know that many, if you want to call us politicians or anybody, would have the tribute that you have had and received this evening. Well deserved and true. I know that you will be blessed, and that this community will be blessed for your continued service. So I thank you for your example.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I have to follow that.
My mom is not your mom, your dad and her mother.
I appreciate the examples of all the board members that we have. And it is my opportunity to present Susan with a going away gift. And she is an award winner in her occupation. She is an award winner as an individual board member, and she serves on a board that has won many awards. And so we are grateful for her leadership to allow those things to happen, so that kids could be championed. And so we have given her the official title of Champion of Children. And this is the award that we'd like to present. And it says, I know we did a lot of research on this. We tried to get as close to red as we could. Her favorite color is red. In appreciation of Susan Brager-Wellman and in recognition of the 30 years of service as a champion of children. Clark County School District Board of Trustees, 2006.
Thank you so much. That is great. Now I have to speak. And I love clocks, so that's really exciting, and I can put it up in my
We did good then. We're
new
inspired.
office. Oh.
Can
I'll
keep
just-
the county commission timely.
That's right. Yeah.
And if there's anybody who can move those county meetings, it's going to be Susan.
And I actually have a bad reputation already. I've had to go to a few meetings, and when I walk in, I go, if you have a 30-minute version, cut it down to 10. So kind of bad, but I just told them that I do my best to learn quickly, but with all sincerity. And I just really, to everyone in this room and people that are not, I just so appreciate the incredible years that I've been able to have. And I think the only reason I could actually do this with some semblance of keeping my eyes dry is that I do get to continue serving the community. And that is because of all of you. And I just really appreciate my family for all that they go through, and meetings and nights that I come in late, and my kids that have to go to different functions, and people that I've just known for 30, 35 years that have just always been there. And it's so worthwhile to sit here, even in the times when you get beat up, and even in the times when people might understand you make the decisions you do. There is not one person on this board that does not do it with their heart. and with their brain. And it is a hard, hard job because you're going to make hopefully only 40-some% of the people unhappy all the time so that you can keep winning. No. And in all seriousness, thank you so much to the superintendents, to staff that has been absolutely incredible, and the students that keep reaching for the stars, and they do. We have so many children that excel in this community, as we saw, and thank you for staying. To the 3 young ladies that represent 300 and some thousand students that want to be educated and want to do their best. The challenges that they have are sometimes out of their control. And if we keep that in mind and always project to them, we can't do anything but be successful. So from my heart, thank you so much. And I can't even adjourn the meeting right now. What a bummer.
Although she would like to.
Yes, but to everyone, my heart goes out, and I feel like I could express myself better, but I'm just overwhelmed with just the graciousness. And that quilt is just a highlight. I cannot tell you. That just warms my heart. Every school means so much, and it's just so exciting to know that hopefully I can just keep giving. But to all of you from Boulder City to everywhere, I appreciate it. Carolyn, thank you for the kind words.
Dr. Rolfes.
Well, Susan, with all of the people sniffling and sobbing, I want to tell you I'm very happy because as I hear all these words that I've heard over and over, kind of a consistency about integrity and straightforward and advocate for people, I think you're just passing from one government leadership chair to another. And after all the shenanigans and corruption of the city or the county commissioners, I think that you'll just be a breath of fresh air, and we're delighted for you in this next step for you and passage in life. And I also want to say, seeing Brian Cram and Carlos Garcia, I'm glad to see there is life after the superintendency. And I see
look
some
younger and happier too.
Some things haven't changed. I see Gail still telling Carlos what to do, what to say. Thank you.
And just one last thing in recognition of what Susan has done is that so many of the people who have come tonight are leaders in our district in a lot of different ways, and that she's built other people into leaders is very, very impressive. So we thank you for coming and sharing this evening with us and being a part of this. Carlos, we're always glad to see you, and Dr. Cram, and you're always welcome in our home, and appreciate all the leadership that you've given us over the years as well. And we'd like to recognize Senator Horsford. He joined us.
There he is.
Thank you. I apologize. I meant to recognize you earlier, and we got carried away with all the excitement. So we appreciate you being here today as well. We'll take just a quick break while we allow the students and their families to make a quick exit for their homework, and then we have a couple of photographs that we need to take. So a 5-minute adjournment, and then we're back to business. And we'll do public hearing next. She starts crying, I just about lose it.
did.
And I drove Sarah to school, and the Christmas song came on, and I just started thinking about my dad. I was like, oh, so my whole day I've been
Mom's
this time of year.
birthday, Monday, it was.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. I tried to move the two holes. I didn't pass.
No. Here, me not being here probably.
Well, no, because Susan didn't vote for it either, for whatever reason. But anyway, I just don't want to go through this. And I just despise what she does.
It is great work. Well, she wouldn't even go do the other picture.
Oh, wow.
She just, it's awful. And I'm starting to think maybe we need to take something from our district. She was talking about all the time, things that took place.
How much do we do on agenda items?
It's almost like there used to be something to mention, get a third party to go. I don't. And she can't. She's not capable of bringing up the choice.
She has no idea where we are almost all the time.
She doesn't know where her stuff is. Yesterday I was helping
Terry turned over to me and she says, you know, it's really good to have Lauren over there. She's our patience. And I laughed. I thought, yeah. But what a wonderful tribute.
She, and it's nice too because I don't have to always speak. Just took a picture of us. Isn't that quilt wonderful?
Oh, it's wonderful.
So why do you suppose Martin's here?
Oh, he's part of it. It's just, when I'm getting so sick of hearing things that I said that I just, really is making me mad. And I can't let it. Carolyn did a good job.
She'll be as forthright and thoughtful as
I think she will.
she may have to grow into it.
Yeah.
I've heard a few things about
Well, no, about lobbying. I think she'll be a tough cookie. But there's an evolution in being a board member. There really is a great evolution. And it was so nice of Carlos and Brian to come, even with his daughter. Now, is that one of Susie's girls? Or did Brian have girls? I thought he only had boys. But
he said daughter or daughter-in-law. Because after he said it, I thought, did he say daughter?
Oh, I thought he said daughter, but maybe. And so I thought maybe it's one of Susie's. Great men. Great men.
He is so articulate. I was always so amazed.
going over there right now? I call him when I get my car. Costume from home. I get here. We talk for about 30 minutes. Oh, they are. He's down watching the He's going to be in this one. All right, this was fun. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. We disrupted this whole meeting. That was so incredible. Isn't that quilt incredible? Oh, that was more than nice. She's a sweetheart. She is. Well, I feel better now. Well, thank you. You know what? It was why I could leave. And that sounds tacky. Not that she's mean by any sense. She'll be a different blend. But, right. Exactly. Oh, you know what? Thank you. Well, and keep doing what you do. Don't retire, whatever you're doing, because we need good people to stay, and you do a wonderful job. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Me too. January 2nd. And it's probably at 8 or 8:30. They're supposed to email me in the morning. No, I'm pretty sure they're going to give me an email, and I'll make sure you find out. Absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, is there a lot? Really? Okay.
Everybody that lives in this district. I said, well, you guys better round up some replacements. I don't know what we're going to do. Would you call him and ask him? Yeah, I will. Because I think if we just can't afford to lose everybody at the same time. We could just do one more year. Would you call him? I did try talking about it, but I thought if I get a couple other people to call him, maybe he'll.
Hey, gorgeous.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
Thought I'd come and say hi.
She's going fine. You don't want to say for her.
No. I'll pass. That's the fun thing about coming. I do miss you. That's what I was saying. That's her problem, not mine. But I do want to do that, okay? I'll set something up, okay? Good to see you. You're looking great. You've done a good job. Keep it up. The district's going in a great direction. I think so. You guys have done a good work. And some of us out there do appreciate it.
That was really nice of you to come.
Oh, no, this was a blast. I'm glad you came. Oh, it was fun. We would miss it. We'll see you guys. Take care.
Carlos, we know you miss sitting up here.
No, I gotta leave.
That's right.
We'll get Larry on the phone after.
Happy birthday. Yep. Hanging in there? I guess. Oh, good. Oh, great. Life is too good. Excuse me.
Okay, we're going to do a 30-second countdown so everybody can kind of wrap up. Party's over. Time to go to work. We're going to get that last $5 out of Susan. Okay. Thank you. We appreciate those of you who have stayed with us for tonight's business. We're on item number 8, public hearing on agenda items. Those who have called in to speak on agenda items will be recognized first. We have on item number 11, Sam King, followed by Constance Kasuda. Item number 14, Karen Gray, and on 16. And then she'll be followed by Mary Jo Malloy on item 22. So we'll start with Sam. Mrs. King, sorry.
That's okay, Sam's fine. And as I just said, every time I speak, whether it's policy governance or somebody's retiring, Walt will never give me a watch. I got to come up and get back on task. So anyway, sorry. Members of the board, superintendent, having attended last night's working session gave me a chance to reflect on the impact of the MGT audit. I don't think anybody should be flinging fault at this point. Anytime you undergo an audit, there's always a fear when you're being evaluated and reviewed. Once we get over that fear, we have to make adjustments and solutions. And a lot was done yesterday. However, ESD is still unfinished. I'm a member of that division. As the meeting adjourned, it was evident that board members had questions about the programs within ESD and the audit recommendations. That's good dialogue. Last night hopefully set the stage for our community, district, and our board to strive for better communication and understanding on what ESD is. It's kind of the redheaded stepchild of the whole district. Respectfully, I'd like to point out, being the redheaded stepchild, there's some misconceptions of what we do. In fairness to the auditors, they had a lot to digest. Granted, as a division, ESD is quite eclectic. It's a mix. That's what makes us good. We have service for discipline, educational options, ESL, and adult education programs, which is my passion. We all call ESD home. We go across region lines. And we have to often share, particularly with adult ed, other regions. One can imagine that the auditor had a lot to digest, as I said. However, this does not excuse that there was some errors, and we just want to clarify what those errors are. An example is the misconception that there was a need for more educational options. All of the recommended options are actually provided by ESD. Another error implied that alternative education and special education services have the same population. They do not. As part of the audit process, errors need to be corrected, and that's what's good about this. We're correcting them. Last evening, I also got the impression, Mrs. Johnson, that maybe perhaps adult education is still kind of hazy. Can I continue, please, somebody?
It's not off yet.
Okay, good. Okay, I got the impression that the adult education program was not quite clear as to its relationship, and that's because it is very strange. We started in 1967 when we were just tied to the school district, although we service a different population too. The adult education program exists for students beyond compulsory school age who do not have a high school diploma or a GED. Adult education programs support the legislative initiative to improve the numbers of 18-year-olds and older who do not possess a secondary credential, either GED or a high school diploma. In the audit, these programs were not, I don't think, clearly represented. We're a good fit, but we're an unusual fit as part of CCSD. One thing I did agree with in the audit was that some people have a feeling that communication needs to improve within the district. We're doing that. Communication between divisions, the board, and the community is imperative to provide services mandated and necessary for public education to be effective. I believe everyone agrees with this. However, in order to improve service, there must be honest and open dialogue between every stakeholder.
Are you wrapping up?
Yeah, I'm really wrapping up.
Thank you.
Promise. It is a travesty when findings are not based on accurate information and are published as fact. Working together requires a knowledge of what we all do that impacts students ages 5 to 82. Accurate knowledge removes misconceptions and opens the door for a plan making public education work efficiently and pass muster of accountability to our community, staff, and legislative oversight. A plan that can pass muster and works is something I'm confident we can all do. Thank you.
Thank you.
And congratulations, Mrs. Wellman. You have a very long meeting. I'm leaving.
Thank you for your
Come on,
comments.
stay.
Constance Casada. She'll be followed by Karen Gray.
I discussed